Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Hostile Stinger Hive detected. Kilo almost at extraction zone. Immediate medical assistance needed. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Hostile Stinger Hive detected. Rogue Striker Drone detected. Hostile Striker Drone detected. Rogue Defender Drone detected.
Cheater.
Hostile Defender
Look,
Drone
this
detected. Rogue
cheater.
neutralized nearby. Vital signs critical.
Cheater, nice cheats, nice video for report, you noob. You
Rogue Hive detected. Hostile Hive detected. Rogue protocol initiated.
Oh fuck, you got rogue.
Nearby rogue agent killed. Contaminated gear detected. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Hostile Stinger Hive detected. Rogue Defender Drone detected. Hostile Defender Drone detected. Hostile Hive detected.
He's noob.
No, you easy one be
Nearby rogue agent killed.
boring.
Rogue Defender Drone detected. Hostile Defender
No, you
detected.
no, you easy one be one guy.
Easy.
Nearby rogue agent killed. Vital signs critical. Serious trauma detected. Hostile striker drone detected. An agent needs assistance. boost now active.
What's up, agents? Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase an Umbra Initiative PvP build. Hopefully you did enjoy the gameplay. At first, I was quite skeptical with a PvP variation of Umbra. I didn't think it would be very good. It absolutely melts, and as you guys could see from the gameplay, it's really powerful the way I have set it up. So I'm hoping you do enjoy this video. If you do, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. So first off, let's go through the specialization. This build is going to be quite simple and easy to make, but I will give you some different variances dependent on how you play and whether or not you're on console or PC, so don't worry. So right here, we have got the firewall specialization. Now, it's dependent on you. You can choose which one you want to go for. It also depends on whether or not you're going to be playing solo or in a group. This is more spec towards playing solo, but it doesn't matter. The only difference is we have got the Coyote's mask, and if one of your teammates has got the Coyote's mask, then you would change it to something else. So let's take a look at the firewall specialization. This is the one that I have chosen. So the great thing about this specialization is that we get arguably the best armor kit in the game, which is really powerful and it works well. You guys know it. This is the main reason why it's very powerful. Make sure we have got assault rifle damage activated. You can use this build with whatever you want. You just have to change one piece. It's that simple. So whatever gun you're going to be using, you would put that corresponding damage on there. So for me, it's assault rifle damage. Let's take a look at the setup. I will give you guys different variations dependent on how you want to be playing. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know how you run this build. So with Umbra, I don't recommend using the Umbra backpack in PvP. You're not going to get enough time to go into cover to regen. That's situational, it's up to you, but I would recommend using the chest piece. So now that we've established that we're not going to be using the Umbra bag, I recommend using a Fenris bag if you're going to be using an assault rifle. If you want to be using different kinds of guns, you can put on a Grupo. The Fenris gives me a non-crit increase in damage and crit increase in damage. So I'm getting a general all-round increase in my damage. That's why I do recommend whatever variant of gun you're using. Like for example, if you're going to be using only an SMG, use Sokolov, or only an LMG, use the Petrov defense to give yourself an increase in that variant of weapon. And just be wary of the bug that's currently going around where you get rifle damage on an AR, for example, which is on my Kingbreaker, which is quite annoying. But with this setup, now that we know that we're going to be using a normal backpack, not the Umbra bag, what second piece are you going to be using? So if you're in a group and your team, one of your teammates has already got the Coyotes, use Fox's Prayer knee pads. That's what I would recommend. It's up to you, but that will give you a good amount of damage. Why am I not using it here? For example, if I'm just going to be playing solo. So if I use this setup, I am getting 20,000 more damage a crit than without the mask and with Fox's Prayer knee pads. But if I'm using Fox's Prayer knee pads, I'm getting 5,000 more damage per non-crit. So that would be RNG based. So for example, if I didn't crit most of my bullets, the Fox's Prayer would be better. But in general, close range, this mask is going to be the best in slot. That's why I recommend this setup. Normally, if I'm using the Umbra bag, I would use Fox's Prayer knee pads, and then I would use Coyote's mask. That's generally what we use in PvP, because this build is spec more towards close range and getting that nice juicy crit damage and non-situational incremental baseline damage from the Fenris. That's why I have got Adrenaline Rush on my back, just to give you guys an idea of how my thoughts were when making this build. So that's the difference. So just keep that in mind. It is RNG. Crit can be RNG. It is percentage per bullet, so like 60% per bullet. Sometimes I do get unlucky, but I think with this setup, if you're going to be playing more close range, this melts. To be honest, at really long ranges, it's difficult because those spotter AR builds, like with the SOCOM MK16 Kingbreakers, can melt you really quick. The RPM might be difficult to control on console, so just keep that in mind. But this setup, from my testing, is the best, and it's great for close quarters combat. So I have gone for Adrenaline Rush. Why? Because it's very good, and it counts as a separate entity to your agent, so you mitigate certain talents on weapons for the enemy agent. So it's very strong. Adrenaline Rush is very good, especially fighting multiple agents. Just make sure you're aware. Now everything's blue. This is now PvP. So as you guys can see, it is 10% bonus armor, which is a lot. Now I would only recommend using this if you have more than 1.5 million armor or 1.5. Anything from 1.5 onwards, don't use it if you're below that. If you want to go full damage, don't use this. Use Companion if you're in a team or you're playing in console. Other than that, Vigilance would be perfect if you're running a red build. This is dependent on you. But that's the thing. If you're going to be using vigilance, are you going to be playing from longer ranges? If so, then use the Fox's Prayer knee pads, because then you won't be getting the 25% increased damage from the Coyote's Mask. Do you see what I'm saying? There are so many different ways you need to spec this build dependent on your playstyle. But if you want to be playing close range, and this is the nice thing about it, is because if you're going to be fighting lots of players, we don't need more damage. That's why vigilance is different. It's difficult to actually say it's very good, because if you're fighting other players and they damage you once, you lose your actual complete backpack talent. But with the Adrenaline Rush, you're going to be stacking up the bonus armor. It's going to help you survive because we've got enough damage on this build. So I recommend using this. And you're probably thinking to yourself, why not use the Matador backpack? So the Matador backpack is very good, but 10% Fenris damage is really powerful. You can use the Matador, and if you 1v3ing a team, the Matador will be better because you'll be getting an extra, I think it's about 2% extra per stack of a player. So it's going to be really good. So it's an extra 6% bonus armor. So that could be better against multiple agents, but you will be lacking in damage. You'll have less damage. And because we've got so many blues, yes, we have a lot of damage, but you know, some more might be beneficial to you. That is up to you. The options there. If you've got a good Matador, go ahead, use that. Against multiple agents, it could be better, but I prefer the baseline weapon damage. This setup is very powerful. It surprised me a lot when I started using it in the Dark Zone. The RPM with the FAMAS with Optimist is a match made in absolute heaven. That's why I've got this. Let's take a look from the beginning. So 1.5 million armor. I feel like that's enough to survive. You can even go for more, but obviously I have got the Coyote's Mask, so it's dependent on whether or not you want to go full blues. I'm going to have to farm a different chest piece now if I wanted to put that as a blue. The reason why the FAMAS is so good is because the end parts of the magazine give us the most amount of damage. That's why when you see me testing the build, it's per shot. So I reload every bullet I shoot because the damage goes up from there. So you get increase in weapon damage by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. So the higher the RPM, the quicker we get to the end of the mag, the more damage we deal. That's why Optimist FAMAS is really good, because we already have such a high RPM. Then the second, well, let me quickly show the mods. It should be quite simple by now. Crit chance, crit damage. Umbra gives us a baseline crit damage, so it's up to you whether or not you actually want to be speccing into the crit chance. Just double check, don't go less than 54, 56%. For this setup, because we're relying on crit with the stacks, I wouldn't go less than 56% with this setup. The lefty shotgun, if you throw a grenade, you get that sledgehammer talent. I didn't want to focus on doing that because it's not the greatest. What I did as well is I also used the Bloody Knuckles gloves, and I can show you guys some gameplay with that. I find it to be really good. The Bloody Knuckle gloves are powerful. You get it from reaching level 90 in the season pass. It's very nice in the season rewards track. It's very good if you melee someone or if you grenade them, you actually get that increased 25% weapon damage, which is really, really powerful. This becomes quite situational and you end up just wasting time trying to do this and then end up getting beamed. Same thing with the busy little bee pistol. You waste a lot of time trying to stack it up. If you have the chance to actually stack it up, like if there's an NPC near you and a player is about to push you and you know he's going to push, you can get busy little bee stacks or melee with the gloves. This can be really, really good, but I found it to be a bit of a chore and I never really had the damage up with it. But I will make a build focused around this and you guys know what that kind of build will be. So with this, like I said, you can throw grenades and you can get the actual damage. It's a lot of damage. It is so much damage. And if you can throw a grenade on somebody and you see that proc on them, push them, they are going to die very quickly. So I recommend using Perfect Sledgehammer. Throw some nades. It's up to you what nades you want to be using. But once you nade that person, push them. But remember, you have to be holding this gun while you throw a grenade for it to work. Unless they've changed it. Just double check that. Then this pistol is currently actually... it's making rogue policing a lot easier. I found that I'll be like, where's this guy gone? I've just killed him 3 times. Is he hiding? Nope. He was getting stacked and he comes downstairs and he one-shots me with a pistol because he's getting so much damage. Go and stack this on NPCs, stack it on players. Even if you're fighting one person, it actually is really powerful. But that's another reason why Adrenaline Rush is so good. And I'm sure you guys can figure out why, because bonus armor is a separate entity to the agent. So this is quite powerful in PvP. Make sure you give it a try. It's very, very strong. Hold the gun out until you see a player pushing you, swap to your weapon, and you get the increased damage depending on how many stacks you actually have. When you down a player, shoot him while he's on the floor because it still counts. So just make sure you do that. It gives you a lot of damage. Then with all the pieces, and let's go through how the build works. We get crit chance, reload speed. So I wouldn't focus too much about what's written on this page, because let's talk about how it actually functions. Go in cover, you see the stacks build up. When the stacks are full, they decay quite slowly, especially when you're sprinting. You get all that RPM and crit damage. It's very powerful. So just stack it up, run around, beam players, go back into cover. If you need a bit of healing and you've got the time to do that, then you can do that. You guys know how this works. We've gone through it before. It's very powerful. But let me just talk about it so that if you're new and you haven't really seen this set before, we can speak about it. So while in cover, gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stacks will give 1% crit damage increase and 0.3% RPM. So that only stacks when you're in cover, and when you go out of cover, the buff will work. While out of cover, you also lose 2 stacks per second at normal speed and 1 stack per second if sprinting, so sprinting does help. While out of cover and in combat, gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 0.8% armor regen. When it's consumed, stacks consume 10 stacks per second only in cover. So the backpack will increase this. The chest piece will increase the damage. So that's why we've got the chest piece. We get from 50 to 100 and stack gain from 10 to 20. The stack gain is what really makes us really good. So it's powerful. Make sure you guys do it. So I've got critical hit damage on here on the chest piece and crit damage modification. Holster, crit chance with an armor value. Gloves, crit chance. Knee pads, crit chance. It's easy to get crit chance because we get that nice 15%, which is actually really good. Then Coyote's Mask, you guys know how this works. Just remember, you need to be within 15 meters to get that 25% crit damage. Otherwise, this mask won't be the best. Then use Fox's Prayer knee pads. Then I've got a 12% modification there for crit damage. Same as the bag, we have got 12% critical damage modification. Use whatever talent you want, just depending on how you want to be playing. But I find this to be the best, and it helps mitigate certain things in the game right now. We've got crit damage and crit chance with a crit damage modification with AR damage for the one piece, 10%. Then I've got the Defender Drone, very good. It's up to you what skills you want to be using. Use deflect, duration, and health. Then duration and health for the decoy, very good. You guys know how this works by now. Looking at the stats, we still have 120% good damage, which is really impressive considering it goes up by so much, and our RPM makes it insane. It's one of the funnest builds I've ever used in PvP, so make sure you guys give it a chance, or give it a try. 60% crit chance. Then the rest of the stats, they are misleading. They don't really tell the full story. We get a lot of armor regen. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me quickly showcase this to you in the firing range so you have a bit of an idea of how it works, how it functions, in case you didn't really pick it up from the gameplay. So we're going to quickly just put this on, for example, veteran. So when you go into cover, as you can see, we've got into the light stacks. Now from the shadows, we're stacking it up. Now we've got all that RPM. Lots of damage. As you can see, it is decaying. When we sprint, it delays the decay a bit more, which you will be doing a lot in PvP. Then when you take damage, look how much the bonus armor does. It works so well. You can see we're consuming, forget about the blue, that's bonus armor. The white armor, though, is going up quite significantly. We get our armor back. It's more than enough. That's why the bag is still not even that great, I don't think. So we get all that. We go out of cover. Then we spec into the light. And then we consume the stacks once more, getting our baseline armor back, which is nice because it doesn't work with the bonus armor. It doesn't refresh the actual normal armor. There we are, full armor. So it works really well. And the damage, as you can see, is really good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace out, guys.